NHL Greatest Players, Jaromir Jagr. Jaromir Jagr is currently the greatest European-born player of all time and is also considered one of the greatest of all time. Having played in 33 professional seasons as of 2021, Jaromir Jagr has one of the longest careers in professional ice hockey history. After leaving the NHL to play in the KHL in 2008, Jagr returned to the NHL for 7 more seasons before returning to play in his hometown team in Kladno, Czech Republic. Jagr was the first Czechoslovakian player to be drafted by the NHL without first having to defect to the West. He was selected 5th overall in the 1990 NHL draft by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Jagr formed a dynamic duo alongside Mario Lemieux and helped the Pittsburgh Penguins win back-to-back Stanley Cups in 1991 and 1992. In the 1994-95 season, Jagr won his first Art Ross Trophy after finishing the regular season with the most points in the NHL. In 1995-96, Jagr set a record for the most points by a European-born player. Both his 62 goals and 87 assists from that season still stand as career highs. From 1997-98 to 2000-2001, Jagr won 4 straight NHL scoring titles. In 1998-99, Jagr won the Hart Memorial Trophy and Lester B. Pearson Award, scoring 44 goals, 83 assists, and 127 points that season. Jagr holds many Pittsburgh Penguins club's records. Jaromir Jagr has the most career assists and points by a right winger in team history. He also has the most assists and points in a single season by a right winger in club history. Jagr also has the most career goals and power play goals by a right winger in club history. Jagr also happens to have the most overtime goals and most career game tying goals in team history. In the summer of 2001, Jaromir Jagr left the Pittsburgh Penguins to sign with the rival Washington Capitals for what was then the largest contract in NHL history. The contract would pay him $77 million over 7 years, which would be $11 million annually. Jagr's tenure with the Capitals was a disaster, so the Capitals eventually traded him to the New York Rangers. With the New York Rangers, he would score at least 25 goals and 70 points in the 3 full seasons he spent with the team. By the time he left to play in the KHL, he had tallied 646 goals, 953 assists, and 1,599 points in 1,273 games. Jagr returned to the NHL for 7 more seasons, finishing his NHL career with 1,733 games played, 4th most in NHL history. Jagr holds many NHL records. Jaromir Jagr has tallied the most goals, assists, and points by a European-born player. He also has the most consecutive 30-goal seasons, 15, shared with Mike Gartner and Alex Ovechkin. Jagr has the most career game-tying goals by a European-born player. He also happens to have the most career playoff game-winning goals by a European-born player. Jagr ranks 2nd all-time in regular season points and ranks 5th all-time in playoff points. He is also amongst the career leaders in several other major NHL regular season statistical categories, including goals, assists, games played, overtime goals, game-winning goals, even strength goals, and shots on goal. As amazing as Jaromir Jagr was, he could have been even better. He wasted 3 years of his prime in Washington, and then another 3 years in the KHL. So even though Jagr finished 2nd all-time in points, if he didn't waste 6 years of his prime, then perhaps he would have been in position to challenge some more of Gretzky's record. Jaromir Jagr at his peak was one of the most dangerous offensive players to ever play the game of hockey. He had a rare mix of size, skill, scoring, and playmaking ability, which made him arguably the best player in the league from 1995 to 2001. Jaromir Jagr already has a Hall of Fame resume and should be a shoe-in when he is eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.